Welcome to another episode of Scouting for Growth, the podcast that drives meaningful conversations on innovation, technology, and market trends. Today's guest is Roi Agababa, the CEO of Novidea. In a world where insurance technology is reshaping the insurance landscape, Roi and his team are leading the charge with their data-driven SaaS platform, which services more than 10 million policies globally. Novidea is not just another tech company. It is a catalyst for operational excellence across the entire insurance distribution lifecycle, from brokers and agents to MGAs and corporate risk management operations. Novidea is setting new standards in how insurance professionals leverage technology for growth, efficiency, and compliance. Today, with Roi, we are going to dig deep into the workings of Novidea's platform. How does it navigate the maze of challenges that insurance professionals encounter daily? What role does it play in enhancing the distribution journey and the customer experience? How does it adapt to various levels of digital readiness while ensuring data security and compliance? Hold tight, listeners. This is not just another insurance technology conversation. We are about to unlock strategies that can fundamentally transform how you engage with technology in the insurance sector. And in particular, if you are a broker, an agent, an MGA, an MGU, or a cover holder. So let's dive in. Hi, Roi. Thank you so much for joining me on Scouting for Growth.
Hi, Sabine. Thank you for having me.
So, Roi, I love asking this first question to all my guests. We want to know who you are and what got you to become the CEO of Novidea.
So I started my path in technology, in software development, around mostly data and metadata analysis. And when we started Novidea, we have looked for an industry which is flooded with data, and that has that technology requirement and technology gap. And this is how we come up with the idea to focus on the insurance and insurance distribution market specifically.
That's super cool because, as you know, insurance, I think it is in 1970 is when we started seeing some automation in insurance. And today, with the data volume we have, definitely we need more technology to actually make sense of it and make better decisions. So, Roi, Novidea today is at the forefront of providing core technology to brokers, agents, MGAs, and often in South Africa, I hear the word MGUs and cover holders. Can you discuss how your platform addresses the unique challenges faced by them in their daily operations, please?
Sure, with pleasure. So to begin with, we have taken a global first approach with Novidea. So having one platform that can serve multiple geography, multiple compliance and regulations. That was the first decision that we've taken because we wanted to offer to insurance organizations that operates globally to have one consistent technology stack and not a fragmented one. Secondly, we've taken an approach which is a data-driven approach. Everything in our platform is basically allowing us to measure, and what is measured can be improved.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're offering our customers the ability in real time to get a hold of the data and understanding of the data and transforming it into knowledge. The third option was that we are doing or building a platform that is future-proof. So no longer a platform that will get older and older and older over time until you have to do a painful rip and replace process, but a platform that is being upgraded and updated continuously, and that's through a multi-tenant cloud architecture, so on and so forth. So these are probably the three key elements we had in mind when we started the company, in order also to assist our customer to go through that digital transformation process.
Yeah, everybody talks about digital transformation, and I think it's one of those topics which is going to stay for a very long time, as we see the emergence of new AI capabilities, which is changing the overall operation of the broker, MGU, MGA cover, other insurance companies in general. So given the evolution of the current landscape, Roy, how does Novidea's technology enable operational excellence? What are the specific features, tools, maybe techniques as well, your platform offers to support the entire insurance distribution lifecycle?
Well, that's a great question. And I think to begin with is the understanding that with Novidea, you don't have to go through a fragmented technology stack where you have the front office, customer management on one system, on the policy admin on another system, and the self-service side on a third system. It's a platform that covers everything from back office operations, middle office service, and front office sales in one technology stack. And what we are offering to our customers to increase operational efficiencies is around the automation and business process management across all three pillars. So from the front office sales and prospecting into the back office operations in one streamlined process. We are also allowing real-time intelligence, so incorporating data and MI into the day-to-day activities of the business user. So no longer do you have to go to a data warehouse and to get an understanding of what's happening and what's the trends. You're getting access to information in real time. So you're making better and more educated decisions.
Which is critical today. I was last week fortunate to be working with one major insurer and one major insurer in Zurich. And one of the big conversation we were talking about was what we call the knowledge revolution and information economy, where the only way we can actually differentiate ourselves today is our ability to make decisions much faster and much better for our customers. So when we look at this excellency between distribution and operation, Roy, can you give us some example as to where the technology improve efficiency and reach those professionals who are doing the daily job between the front office, I would say the middle office and the back office, and you streamlining everything to allow, I guess, management to doers to actually have a clear idea as to how the business become a successful venture?
Yes, sure. I think to begin with, it's a better understanding of the customer journey. So from being a prospect through the quotation phase and the post binding of a policy, understanding this as one journey and getting the metrics and the KPIs around the health of the customer, the health of the book of business we have with that customer. This has been key, and understanding that this journey spreads across multiple departments in the organizations with different targets and cost structure, and the ability to translate this into one cohesive view of the performance within the organization is key for better health of the customers, better customer satisfaction, and also identifying gaps within the book of business so that you could provide additional value-adding services to that customer.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the other hand, so that was the customer side. There's the employee side, where you're having tools and capabilities to identify where there are bottlenecks within the quote to bind process, where are bottlenecks in the customer service side, and where you can apply improvements to get better support for your service level agreements and so on and so forth. So managing and overseeing in real time the activities of the different departments on the service side is also important. And the third one probably is creating synergies between distributed business units within the organization. As we mentioned, Novidea has the ability to serve across different territories, different geographies, but also across different business lines. Therefore, creating that synergy and creating those opportunities through Novidea for your counterparts in a different region, these are something that we're able to do very much seamlessly for the organization.
So I think one thing I'm hearing as well is the platform, whilst it's implemented by an MGA, an MGU, a broker, a cover holder, those companies work with other organizations, the insurers themselves, and the ability to exchange that data allow them to be much more effective and much more responsive for the customer.
Yes, and even if it's other business units of the same organization, so a broker could be an international broker that have business units in Asia Pacific, Europe, US, and their ability to work in synergy as they are all residing on the same platform, this is something that provides them with a lot of benefits.
Incredible. So, looking at all this data, right? We are full of data. We are making a lot of decisions across those different entities. Data security and compliance then become a major concern, I think. So how does Novidea addresses this, ensuring that data and legal requirements for those for professionals are being met continuously?
Yes, so that has been a key consideration when we've started the company to choose the underlying platform as a service that is secured and scalable and support multiple jurisdictions and compliance requirements. And therefore, we have engaged with Salesforce and have been using, from the inception of the company, we've been using force.com as the platform as a service. This provides robust and scalable mechanisms, both for security and performance. On top of that, there are layers and protocols that Novidea has implemented for data segregation between multiple legal entities that are using the platform, and strict permission and profile management that make sure that data is accessible only for those that are permitted to see it, and that we have all the governance and controls in place to safeguard that information. And the third element of it is the ongoing training that we're doing for anyone in the company to make sure that when we are working with customers, that we're very sensitive for the all data protection and requirements that customers have for us.
So I can hear that force.com being at the core, Salesforce being at the core of the strategy of Novidea, meaning that we are focusing on the customer and customer experience. At the same time, we talked about that different departments, different organizations within the same group can have one single view of the customer, but we also enable this to happen with our stakeholders, such as the insurance companies. So I would like to pivot to the policyholder. Customer experience is pivotal for us in insurance, and some do it better than others, as we know. Can you describe how Novidea's platform is contributing to that unique customer experience with the policyholder a little bit more, Roi?
Sure, with pleasure. So we've talked a lot about the back office operations and everything that happens post-binding. We've also talked about the prospecting phase and the insurance, the customer journey within the from quote to bind. There is another important part that we are offering to our customers, which is the self-service portal. So this allows basically the insureds to access a lot of the capabilities that we have in the platform for self-service. It could be going through a quote to bind process, collaborating with their brokers. It could be issuing a certificate and downloading it, and it could be first notification of loss. There is a wide variety of actions that they can do themselves, and without the need to wait for someone to meet with you or to pick up the phone. And this allows much better customer service, much more immediate response, and better engagement between customer and the insurance distributor.
That's super cool. So interesting enough, while you were talking, I was thinking about the Gen Zs, right? They don't like to pick up the phone. You have to actually send them WhatsApp. So actually, when you think about an agent starting interacting with the younger generation, the platform enables them to actually provide that digitization this group of customers is looking for. Exactly. Which takes me, so how Novidea's technology adapt to this varying level of digital readiness? Even just last week, we were talking about digitization versus digitalization. Digitization being, data moving from analog to digits. But now it's all about digitalization, the business model, the operating model, the operational excellence we just talked about a moment ago, Roi. So how are you designing to accommodate users at different stages of their digital transformation?
I think that's a great question. And to begin with, we see Novidea as the core platform to manage the entire insurance journey from the prospect all the way to the renewal and financial transactions within the IBA. But beside having those front office, middle office, back office capabilities, there is also another layer that we are starting to see around Novidea, and a lot of integrations for partners that are part of our ecosystem that basically are augmenting the customer experience, whether it is collaboration through different channels that were not available before and now are available, whether it's the use of chatbots and AI-based messaging and so on and so forth. There is a very large ecosystem of partners that has been evolving and integrating into Novidea, and that's mainly due to our open API architecture, basically very simplifying how to integrate with Novidea, how to get information in and out to Novidea in a very secured manner. And I think this is very much part of our vision as not just providing a system, but a full platform for our customers.
That's interesting because, think about just a few years ago when I was starting talking about digital ecosystem and, partnering with other and building, environment where you need to master your strengths, your strength within your platform, your capabilities, and then leverage others, a little bit like, looking at the iPhone and the app, right? Leveraging others to actually help you grow as part of an ecosystem. And I love hearing that this is core part of your strategy at Novidea, Roi. I want to move to regulation, though. given the tight regulatory landscape, right? Insurers, have to meet the regulator needs. How does Novidea's platform secure compliance and make sure that those MGUs, brokers, agents, cover holder are constantly aligned with the regulatory requirements?
So one key capability that we have built in Novidea is our metadata layers. Those layers allow us to control everything from the user interface to the way that we're processing transactions, all the way to the reporting, dashboards, documents, production, what have you. Everything is controlled through metadata configuration. And in this way, we're able to cater for multiple regulation, compliance requirements, as we don't have to develop all of this support again and again. It's just through configuration that we're doing to the system. The way that the business process management is executed in the system, the way that the workflows themselves, the ways that the documents are being generated to cater for the regulatory requirements within that territory. All of this is controlled through configuration, and this allows us and our customers to also adjust to the change in regulation very quickly, rather than going through the full software development lifecycle. Adjusting to a new change in regulation is done through configuration.
You mentioned the ecosystem, and I'm just going to go back to that. Insurance professionals often grapple with the challenge of integrating new technologies. We're not always very good technologists, and I don't think insurance companies should focus on technology when they should be focusing on customer experience and delivering amazing products. Same for brokers, they are focusing on that distribution and really serving the customer as best as they can. So how does Novidea really is that integration process between the partners, meeting that regulatory compliance and the different stakeholders within that ecosystem environment?
So as I've mentioned before, Novidea is a cloud-based company. We were born in the cloud, and this is for us a key attribute in our ability to deliver the platform faster than traditional software. It allows our customers to get capabilities around self-service, being self-sufficient in applying changes. The metadata layers I've mentioned earlier, these are also exposed or accessible to our customers, given training naturally. They're able also to adopt and personalize the system on an ongoing basis. So it doesn't have to be use it on an as-is basis, but they can further personalize it to their needs. I think this really makes the difference in terms of the transformation itself, the user adoption, the ability to go through that delivery process in a more streamlined manner with better engagement from the business side as well.
Yeah, I can see that. And it was a real pleasure working with your team on writing this article on the war for capacity, because I was able to actually evaluate and review the capabilities. So thank you to the Novidea team. And in the paper, we actually talk about some of the case studies, actually, and some of the amazing clients you're working with. But for the listeners, I would love for you to share some success stories, some case studies, some implementation of Novidea's technology has done that has delivered for sure tangible outcomes for your customers, your brokers, the MGAs, and the cover holders which are out there.
Sure. So to date, Novidea have implemented its platform in over 20 countries. So our customer base is quite diversified, and it includes, as you mentioned, brokers, agencies, MGAs and MGUs, and direct-to-consumer carriers. So it's quite a diversified customer base, and each customer is special in its way. I think what's in common for all of them is that basically the having the data accessible to them drives better results on first of all the back office efficiencies, the operational efficiencies, through automations, through identifying areas for improvements, bottlenecks, and having actionable intelligence at the tip of their fingertips allows them to achieve better operational efficiencies. And on the other side, the ability to do better planning, better forecasting on the quote buying side also bring the customer the ability to utilize and leverage information that we have around the customer throughout the journey into knowledge and into the insightful decisions of what to sell, with who to place the business, and what would be the best solution that they offer to their customers. So I think we published several case studies in the past. They are within our website to look at. But in terms of the main drivers for operational efficiencies, sales efficiencies, better renewal ratios, all of that, these are mostly around the being data-driven, having the three pillars of back office operation, middle office service, and front office sales in a single platform, and not having to go and build a fragmented technology stack. Basically an intuitive and a streamlined process that Novidea offers to its customers.
That's super great, super great. So let's look a little bit ahead to next year and the year after. So what are Novidea's plan for the future? What would be your top three activities that you could share with us so that our listeners can understand what to expect, what is coming up for us all with Novidea?
So Novidea is very much focused in developing and extending its offering even further. We are operating in different countries and different continents right now, and our continued objective is to expand our reach in the market, and basically to continue and expand not just to new territories, but also into additional lines of insurance. As an example, we're now investing in building our offering around reinsurance brokers, and we have additional areas of investments that we are making on the product side within the London market, within the US, and so on and so forth. So continue to expand both within the countries and territories that we already operate in, and expand into new geographies as well. I think in terms of building our and continuing to augment our teams that are on the ground, Novidea is currently operating from 5 hubs and will be expanding even more in the world. And I think last but not least, we will continue to find very creative ways to harness the power of data into providing actionable insights to our customers. So a lot of investment in that area as well.
Super. Roi, where can our listener find you? If, once they have listened to our conversation, they want to find about Novidea, in which country, can you tell us what should they do? Where should they go?
So the best place to go and start your journey with us would be our website. Novidea has teams on the ground across Europe, in the US. We have a hub in the UK as well. So, but the best place to start with would be our website.
Super. Roy, thank you very much for joining me on Scouting for Growth. Honored to have you here today.
It has been my pleasure. Thank you very much, Sabine.
If you like this podcast, subscribe now, share with your friends, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a 5-star review. Also, if you want to cover any specific subject with me, contact me on Instagram under Sabine VdL Officials or LinkedIn under Sabine VdL. Thank you.